Hey, what's going on, Niner fam? Yeah, I'm in the parking lot of a gas station right now because I felt the need. I had to get this. I wanted to make sure that I got this video in and got these takes off today, because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have later. But the yesterday's game, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. There were some there was I would say that the 49ers showed fight, but at the end of the day it really came down to mistakes, execution, turnovers, um, and I think I talked about in my previous video is that this game was gonna come down to that, and it was going to come down to we could not turn the ball over more than one time in this game. With that, like, if that was going to happen, then we were going to lose, and that's exactly what happened because Seattle has this I don't even know how to explain it. They have this thing about the 49ers that it's just they have this spell over us that I'm at a loss for words at how poorly the 49ers overall played. And it's really overall because it was just really came down to it wasn't that the offense played terrible, it wasn't that the defense played terrible, special teams played pathetically terrible. They were just bad all the way around. They were bad. I don't ever want to see Travis Benjamin returning kicks. Don't ever want to see it again. We all wish the best, I believe, for Cannon. Nobody wants to see that happen on the field to anybody, to any team. So much love goes out to that guy and his family, and I believe I heard something about it's looking like it's not as bad as we all thought it probably was at the time. But yeah, regardless, much love to that guy, and our thoughts, of course, go out to him and his family. But yeah, you never want to see that. But as far as this game goes, so big elephant in the room, Jimmy. I don't want to get on Jimmy too bad, because whenever you get on Jimmy bad, like, everybody tries to bring up everything else that went wrong in the game. Yes, the team did not play well as a team. We didn't play well as a team. But Jimmy Garoppolo, your quarterback, is the most important part of your team in the NFL. That's just the way it is. So, for Jimmy to play the way that he did, and did he make throws? He made throws. But even if you discount the 2 interceptions that he threw, even if you discount those, he threw the ball high and over the middle. I swear that he's trying to get guys killed. I swear it, because it's just high across the middle. And the middle is the only place that he's really looking. He doesn't really want to throw to the outside. He did have the little lob to Kittle. But even that, I mean, the only reason why that even worked was because Kittle was wide open, and it was just a nice little lob pass over the defense. Because he didn't have to put any zip on it. But Jimmy, the decision making is just terrible. And I know, I already saw one today of Jimmy when the tape comes out and we get to see a chance from Rich and Vish and Grant Cohn and all these other guys that break down the film. Jack Hammer, shout out. When all these guys come out with the film, like that, all the breakdowns, they're going to show you probably 20 different ways of all the throws that Jimmy missed. It's like I've never seen a quarterback miss a professional quarterback that we're arguing about should be the starter miss as many throws as he does. Like, I don't understand it. It shouldn't even be a conversation at this point, in my opinion. However, I digress. He's going to be our starter going forward. The only thing that's going to keep him from starting, I believe, is an injury. I don't think that Kyle is going to sit him. I don't think we're going to see Trey Lance, like I said, barring injury. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what we think. It matters what Kyle thinks is the best chance for him to win, and he thinks that Jimmy gives him the best chance to win. So, if that's the best chance we have to win, then I don't think we're really going anywhere. If what we saw yesterday and what we've seen, even in the wins, we keep talking about efficiency and Jimmy is efficient and all the other stuff. You had to run the ball 40 times for him just to look viable. And now we get a chance to see, and I said this in my last video, now we got a chance to see what it was going to look like when Jimmy is forced to throw the ball. Elijah Mitchell got 22 carries, but he only got 66 yards. So we didn't run the ball 40 times, plus we didn't get the yards, which meant that Jimmy was going to have to throw the ball. And that's the result, guys. I don't know how else to say. That is what's going to happen if Jimmy has to throw the ball. Plain and simple. You may not like it. You may not agree. But I can 100% guarantee it that is what we're going to see. That's what we're going to see. So, a couple of things about the offense. Like I said about Elijah Mitchell, not really. It's not that he didn't have a good game. He had his touchdown. I think he did what he could with what was put in front of him. They were just stacking the line, and Jimmy didn't give him any reason to not do that. So it is what it is, but what was kind of puzzling to me is that Kittle got so many targets and Ayuk didn't, which I really question Kyle's thought process on that. Not so much because Kittle doesn't deserve targets, but because for the simple fact that Ayuk deserves targets too. He deserves targets too. And he deserves to be made a part of the offense. We should be scheming him up. And granted, we got him out on a screen that Jimmy just bulleted it to his face. And not that he still should have caught it. But my whole thing is Kittle dropped a pass too. You didn't stop going to Kittle. Like, I just feel like there should have been a more cohesive, without Debo in there should have been a more cohesive plan around spreading the ball around to your different guys. We should not have just keyed in on Kittle, because that's what caused him to be in double coverage later in the game, and that's what caused that second interception in my mind. But yeah. So I'm willing to bet that we're gonna see some tape later on today, in the next couple of days, that shows Ayuk open on a regular basis. But we'll see. I would love to be wrong, and that's the reason why they didn't get him the ball, because he wasn't open. But I doubt it, because Seattle's secondary was terrible. Then there's Trent Sherfield and Juwan Jennings. Those were my other two X factors. I didn't know who was gonna kind of step up. The answer was really neither. Really neither of them stepped up. Juwan Jennings, I believe he got one catch, but he blocked his behind off. he was really active, and making life difficult for those corners. So I mean, you got to give him credit for that. But I would have liked to see him get the ball more. I know that Jimmy only threw the ball 30 times and Kittle got 10 of them, so there wasn't a lot to go around. Juice got a catch, but I know it's we can't expect Jimmy to throw the ball 40 times a game. Like that's it would have been even worse than what we saw yesterday from him. So, but it was just a little disheartening because when you sit there and you look at the game and you look at what the 49ers future is this season, this was really a game to test what would happen when your main piece is out and you can't run the ball, and what was going to happen. Well, you just got your answer. So as far as the defense goes, defensive line, they were beasts out there. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about the defensive line after this week. At least for this game, they were great. Bosa was a beast over there. Armstead got a sack. Who else got sacks? There was 5 sacks, I believe. So great job by the defensive line. The part that wasn't great was they did not have the discipline. They should have had 7 sacks. But I question, where was the discipline with Amenahu and I'm trying to remember the other, Arden Key. Where was the discipline? How long have we played with these rules that you cannot hit the quarterback in the upper half and land on him? I mean, how long have we been doing this now? You've got to have discipline. And granted, Amenahu and Arden Key, they don't get to the quarterback that often, so they probably were excited. Okay, you got to have discipline. And Russell Wilson is short, which means you got to get it even lower. But you got to do it. Got to do it. You cannot have that happen twice on one drive. It cannot happen. Yeah, but other than those couple of plays, the defensive line was great. It was outstanding. But unfortunately, those 2 plays we're gonna complain about the defensive line now because they just let them down the field with penalties, and then coverage-wise, I felt like the 49ers, for the most part, did a pretty decent job. Yeah, for the most part, they did a pretty good job, and I kind of talked about it in my last video that Russ, this was probably going to be a get-back game for him, and it was. This is Russ against the 49ers. He just got he didn't, like I said, it wasn't like he just lit them up, but when he needed a throw, he got a throw. When he needed a penalty, he got a penalty. And it's frustrating because if our offense had held up their end of the bargain, and when I say our offense, I mean Jimmy, had held up their end of the bargain, I don't think it would have been as big of an issue for the defense. The defense still made plays. Al-Shaair. That guy is, I think it's safe to say, guys, we've got a monster. We've got a monster on our hands in Al-Shaair. He was given the keys to the defense, and he did an outstanding job. I saw Bosa made a comment about his getting the plays in and getting everybody set up, and I think he had 16 tackles. He was everywhere, and he had a sack. I believe he had a sack too. Guy was outstanding. I know that Fred Warner had to be smiling on the sideline, because that's a reflection. I mean, honestly, that's a reflection of Fred Warner as much as it is a reflection of the coaching staff. So Alshire played well. I felt Hufanga played well. And no, I don't think it was a dirty play by DK when he stepped on Tart. I don't think it was a dirty play. I think DK was so hyped that he didn't even see him. So let's not even take it there. That was I don't think it was intentional. But with that being said, overall I felt like the defense did its job. They didn't do a bad job at all. If it wasn't for the special teams touchdown, and it wasn't for the other short field stuff, I mean, they held Seattle to what, 23 points? So yeah, we just came up short all the way around. There was just too many turnovers, too many just miscues. It was disappointing. It was disappointing. We just weren't it. I don't want to say that they weren't ready for this game, but just the lack of execution and the lack of discipline was just really terrible to see. Now, granted, they were in Seattle. It was a hostile environment, but at the same time, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. It's time to game up. And granted, we can sit there and say, oh, we were missing Debo, we were missing Warner, we were missing Greenlaw. Come on, man. There's no excuse for the lack of discipline. Discipline isn't because of the crowd noise. It's just discipline. And so it was a shame to see the lack of discipline and the lack of execution. But we're moving on to the Bengals. I saw a report today that Burrow is hurt. His hand is hurt. So we'll see. We'll see. Not that I want anybody to be injured, but we could use this win. I'll tell you that. And not having Burrow would be huge for the 49ers. And it's I'm gonna do some deep diving on their defense, because I think we all have seen their offense go off this season. They've got some running backs, y'all. They've got some running backs, and they got Burrow, and they got receivers. They've got an explosive offense. I'm just interested to watch some tape on their defense and see exactly what we're looking at, like as far as what Jimmy's gonna have to deal with. So, yeah, it's another. I said it on the last video. This is another gotta have it game. Gotta have it game. Every game has got to have it. And I think somebody said, I saw on Twitter today, that even if they just need to go 3-2. I don't want to think like that. I think that they need to win every single game to maintain momentum, to maintain because it's all up here. It's all up here, and they have to be in the right frame of mind when they go into the playoffs if they're going to make any kind of run. Do I expect them to win a Super Bowl this year? I don't expect it. Would I be happy if they somehow, some way got there? Of course. But I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that this team is anywhere close to that. So, but with that being said, thank you guys for listening to the recap. I wanted to make sure I got this video out because I didn't want to wait any longer than I absolutely had to. I wasn't going to have time to make one later. So I decided to sit here in a parking lot of a gas station and just do the damn thing. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for subscribing. I saw that I got a couple of extra subscribers. Thank you guys for the likes. I really appreciate all the positive reinforcement. I appreciate all the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of people. Appreciate Croc for bringing me on at halftime on the spaces. I love hearing from you guys. please reach out, give me any kind of feedback that you got, anything that you want to hear me talk about. But yeah, disappointing loss. We just got to move on to the Bengals. Stay positive. We know what Jimmy is. And we know we're only going to go as far as eventually as he can take us. So let's get behind him, and he can at least get good vibes from us. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for listening again, and go Niners.